This is what six figures looks like, $100,000. And only 5.4% of the Americans earn that kind of money in an entire year. You want to earn that kind of money, don't you? Well, I want to show you 6 ways for you to do that. And then maybe 6 ways in a month, or maybe even 6 ways in a day. I did that last Monday, so 6 ways for you to make $100,000 a year. This is really a tiny amount of money. I mean, 6 figures is $900,000 too, but we'll start off with the low end of 6 figures, and then let's talk about how to reach the high end. You want to make $1 million, maybe 7 figures, don't you? So let's talk about how to do this, how to create some real fortune in your life. Way number 1 is one of my favorites. So 6 figures in real estate, when we talk about real estate wholesaling, we talk about buying a property, a bargain price, and selling it for a big price. It could happen in a few days, it could happen in a few months, it could happen, maybe you hold it for 20 years, but eventually you're going to be selling that at what I call wholesaling. So in real estate wholesaling, a wholesaler contracts a home with the seller and then finds an interested party to buy it. The wholesaler contracts the home with the buyer at a higher price than with the seller and keeps the difference as a profit. So you're a business person, aren't you? Well, that's what business people do. They buy at bargain prices at wholesale, and then they sell them at retail. So most of you are going to learn how to do this. It's just one of the main ways of doing it. Now, I'm going to share with you a website that you may have never heard of before, because one of the ways of making fast money in real estate is to find a wholesaler. I mean, you could be the wholesaler, or you could find somebody who does this for a living, who literally has websites that they do. So I asked one of my very favorite experts who's doing it today. I said to him, what is your secret website? And this is what he said to me. I would search for problems: a divorce, the probate, non-payment of taxes, eviction, foreclosure, bankruptcy, etc., instead of properties. To do that, I use listsource.com and realeflow.com. Did you get that? Those come right from the cutting edge of people making serious money, and these are wholesalers, and perhaps this could be your first deal, wholesaling. Conversions, I'm not talking about spiritual conversions, I'm talking about real estate conversions. And every property that you buy is going to be zoned for a certain type of real estate. There's going to be residential zoning, there's going to be commercial zoning, and for example, conversion is converting real estate from one use to another. For example, if you have an apartment building and convert it to an office space, you dramatically increase its revenue, therefore you dramatically increase its value and your profit. Now, let me give you a real example. I bought a 12-unit apartment building. It was run down and it generated some cash flow for me. I bought it for nothing down. And then I said to myself, it's located very close to the downtown area. Maybe it's zoned for something more profitable. I found out that it was zoned for commercial also. And now I converted that property from office space, 12 bad units, to a beautiful office space. It's where I had my headquarters myself for a long time. And it dramatically increased its value. It tripled its value because it tripled its income. And just taking that one example, that one property itself made me $500,000 because I converted it. So when you look for real estate deals, you're looking for, is it possible that this property could be converted to another use? Could it be converted from raw land into building lots, from building lots into commercial property or to residential property, to warehouses? This is a fundamental way that people make big money by making just one small change. Have you ever heard the word fixer-upper? Everybody's heard that word because it's just obvious. You know, you find a property that needs some cosmetic improvement and you add that improvement and then you sell it to somebody else who wants it. You know, the biggest difference between a fixer-upper and a rehab house is that the fixer-upper only needs a few cosmetic repairs to rent out. For example, a fixer-upper may require that you paint the outside of the house, replace the floors, or touch up the finishing on some of the kitchen cabinets. Now, when it comes to fixing up, you'll notice my hands don't have any calluses on them because I like to fit golf clubs in there, not hammers and things like that. So I don't do a lot of fix-up. Some people are really good at it. They love to do that. I hate to do that. You might be a fixer-upper. It might be just perfect for you because you're good with your hands. I like to find properties that have people problems, not property problems. In other words, I'm going to look for a property that's in good condition already that I can turn around and sell quickly because I can buy it at a wholesale price. But fixer-uppers are really a very powerful way of making money because you force the appreciation. You make it go up in value quickly in a short period of time. Sometimes I have to wait for years for my appreciation to happen, but a fixer-upper makes it happen immediately, so it might be just the perfect strategy for you. So this is one I do like, and this is called flippers. Now, my first deal in my entire life was finding a seller who had a nice property. She didn't realize it was under market. She needed to sell it to get some money to pay for her son's college education. So she listed it for sale as a for sale by owner, and I contacted her, and she said, I'll lend you, some of the money for the equity. And I had $1,000 that my dad had given me for college graduation, and so I said, well, I'll give you all the money I have. And it was $1,000, and she took it. And therefore I said, I'll pay you, $1,500 in a couple of months and another $1,500 in a couple of months. And bottom line is I ended up controlling that property, not realizing that the neighbor had been out of town and wanted to buy that property. And while he was gone, she listed it and I bought it. And of course the neighbor called me and said, I understand you just bought that property and I wanted it. So what would you need to sell it for in order for you to make some profit, for me to buy the property I've always wanted? And so I times my profit by 6. I turned my $1,000 into $6,000 and I flipped it. Now, I did it in like 30 days. And today you'll see all kinds of TV shows about flip this and flip that. Well, it just means you find a property, you find it under value, you improve its value, you flip it, you sell it to somebody else. But the problem with flipping is that you have to sell it. And remember, I've always said, don't wait to buy real estate and wait. And if you flip, that means you've taken and made your money into chunks of money. I want you not to make just chunks of money. I want you to make streams of revenue that flow into your life for the rest of your life. Because when that home is paid off and it's free and clear, it's like a cash cow of oil well in your backyard. But if you need to make some quick cash, flipping is one thing you could do. Now, one of my students bought a property, an 8-unit apartment building, and this is a fabulous story. He lived in San Francisco where the prices are sky high, but he found out that like 4 or 5 hours away, properties in Reno were like a third of the price. So he ran an ad in his San Francisco newspaper to find people who might want to buy bargain properties. And he went online, he found it online. He found a property in Reno that was an 8-unit apartment building for $215,000. Now that price is just like ridiculously low if you live in San Francisco. And he negotiated with the seller to buy it for $200,000. And he said, I'll close on it in a month from now. But he didn't have the down payment to buy it. But he tied it up. In other words, he bought it with a contract, with a deposit, and now he controlled the property. Technically, it was an option. He owned it until he needed to close on it. Then he ran an ad in the San Francisco newspaper. He said, buy 8-unit apartment building for $215,000. And his phone rang off the hook because people wanted deals like that. And when they called, he said, I have the property. It's located in Reno. Would you like to see it? And they said, sure. So he made arrangements for them to go see it. He had never seen it himself. They went and looked. They liked it. They said, $215,000 is a great price. When do we close? And he says, well, technically, I have the contract here where I've agreed with the seller to buy it. If you buy it in my place, then you just need to give me $15,000 in cash right now, and I'll let you close in my place. Well, the seller said, done. writes him a $15,000 check. It took him like 3 weeks to do this. He walks away with a $15,000 check for a property he had never owned. They never had checked his credit, never checked his down payment. This is called flipping a contract. So there are all kinds of ways of flipping. The buyer that bought it from him eventually went and bought the property in Reno. He now owns it. He loves it. And our student walked away with $15,000 in cash. So you can flip lots of things. Flipping. Powerful strategy. Bird dogging. What the heck does that mean with regards to real estate? Well, if you're hunting, you have a bird dog. That means when you shoot the bird, the dog goes and gets the bird and brings it back to you. Well, that's what they do in real estate. People go out and find deals like this and bring them back to the hunter. That's exactly how I got started. I didn't have lots of money to get started, so I joined a club that had lots of professionals in it. There was doctors and attorneys and dentists and accountants. And I joined the club and just wanted to network with people with money because I didn't have any. But I had the knowledge of finding good deals. I just didn't have the money to close on them. And so when I would go to this every 2 weeks, we had a meeting, and I would just tell the people, I found this deal, I found that deal. I was a bird dog, and I flipped these deals to these investors or these professionals and made serious money doing it until I became the next stage, which is an angel. An angel is where you have the money and you deal with bird dogs. But first, you're probably going to start off as a bird dog. You're going to go out there in the world and find deals that you're going to bring to investors. I am doing a challenge right now with 19 teenagers. Literally, we just started this challenge. I love to do challenges. And we're teaching these teenagers how they can go find these deals and sell them, flip them to rich people. And these teenagers are going to be millionaires in 1 year. Watch this challenge. I mean, if you ever want to learn about it, the Teenage Millionaire Challenge, because I'm teaching them how to be bird dogs. And I'm teaching you, if you don't have the money, somebody does. And you can show that person how you can use their money to buy the deals for you. Be a bird dogger at first, and then you're going to become an angel. Eventually, you're going to have this, 200, 300, 400, 500. And what are you going to do with it? You're going to use bird dogs, and they're going to bring you deals that you couldn't find by yourself because you're so rich. You don't have the time to do it for yourself. You let other people do that for you. You become an angel. And what is an angel? If you have money that you're looking to grow at higher rates than the stock market, you can fund the deals of a bird dogger. Your money makes the system go, and you make tax-deductible returns along the way. As an angel, you get to decide which deals come to you. So now you go into the real estate agents who are dealing in real estate properties as investors, and you go to them and you say, I'm an angel. I have X amount of dollars available to invest. You find a deal, you call me. Now you need to talk to 10, 15 agents in your city. Let them know that they are your bird dogs, essentially, and bring you deals. They earn commissions, but you get the best deals possible that way. Therefore, you become richer and richer and richer. Wouldn't that be nice? That's what we're talking about. So these 6 ways that I talked about here, sometimes you're going to do wholesaling. Sometimes you're going to do a conversion. Sometimes you're going to fix it up or flip it or become a bird dog until you become an angel. I want you to do all 6 of these ways, not just one of them, but all 6. I want you to make $1 million on each of those ways. Make $1 million wholesaling. Yeah, make $1 million converting. Make $1 million fixing up. Make $1 million flipping. Make $1 million bird dogging other people's deals. Deals that are so big that you couldn't do them by yourself. Maybe they're 100, 200, 500 unit apartment buildings. Maybe you couldn't afford that. But somebody can. You could be a bird dog for them. And then eventually somebody's going to be the bird dog for you. 6 figures. As many as you want, as long as you want. Have I got a deal for you? No, really. I've got a book that you must read. It's called The Challenge. It's a book I wrote about a challenge I did, going to an unemployment line and picking people and showing them how to make money immediately with no cash, no credit, no cash flow, no collateral, none of the stuff that the banker thinks you need. I taught them how to buy with no money, no credit, nothing. I'm going to show you how to do that in this book, and it's powerful. It's a free book. I want to give it to you for free. There's a minor charge for handling. But if you read this book, I guarantee you'll learn what these unemployed people did. And they made money in 90 days. One couple made $100,000 in the next year. Remember I talked about making 100 grand? This couple made it from nothing, from no job, nothing. And if you read this book, I guarantee it'll change your life. Then I'll give you the book that changed my life. It was called Think and Grow Rich. And all rich people have read this book. If you haven't read it yet, if it's not in your library, I'm going to give that to you so you can read what 100 million people have bought this book. I'm going to give it to you for free. And I'm also going to give you a $50 value. I recorded this, the entire book, every single word of it, for you, in my voice. I want you to listen to it. Driving to work, coming back from work. You don't want that job anyway. Get rid of that job. Think and Grow Rich will help you do that. And then it'll teach you the mindset. The challenge book will teach you the system, the technique using that in real estate. So when you add the mindset and the technique of real estate, put them together, you can't fail. Get this. It's a no-brainer. It'll change your life. Do it. Click on this link right now. Do it now. Hi, my name is Robert Allen. You know because this is my channel, and you should be subscribing to this channel right now. Ring the bell. Be here. Why? Because in my career, I have taught millions of people, millions, and have generated thousands of millionaires in my career. I meet them everywhere I go in the world. People have picked up a copy of my book. It's changed their life. So this is, if you're just beginning, you want to learn the information that has made thousands of millionaires. A lot of newbies out there, you know, the beginners who are trying to teach people how to make money in real estate. I'm the granddaddy in this entire industry, and you need to learn from the guy who made it happen. So click on this, join this, ring that bell. Let's learn together. This is one of the reasons I live, is to teach you how to succeed. This is my purpose in life. If your purpose in life is to make some money, this is how we get started. Ring the bell now.